Pronouns form contractions when we make use of the apostrophe. So this is something we really need to keep in mind in order to avoid making mistakes. It is forms its, whereas its is the possessive form of it. Now I'm bringing forth some very commonly made errors. The correct form of writing yours is without the apostrophe. That is, yours is correct. Whereas to use your along with an apostrophe and s is definitely wrong. A very commonly made error in letter writing. Let me illustrate the difference between its and its. Examples. It's a matter of grave concern that children eat too much of junk food. Here, its refers to it is. The baby was crying inconsolably for its mother. Here, its is the possessive case form of the pronoun it. Some other examples of contractions are cannot changes to can't, could have into could have, do not into don't, will not into won't, is not, isn't, should not, shouldn't, here is, here's, what will, what'll. Contractions are considered to be more of a part of informal writing, so they should be avoided in formal writing. Distributive pronouns. A distributive pronoun considers the members of a group separately rather than collectively. They refer to a group or a number that is definitely more than one, but they are followed by a singular form verb, which you can learn from subject and verb agreement rules. So distributive pronouns are always singular. They are followed by singular verbs. Some examples are each, either, neither, everyone, and everybody. Let us look at some examples. Each refers to every one of a group of persons or things taken separately. Either means one or the other of the two. Neither means not even one nor the other of the two. Examples. Each of us was given a prize. You can take either of these two shirts. Neither of them was selected. Make a note that either and neither can be used only when we are speaking about two persons or things and not less, not more. When speaking about more than two persons, we refer to them as any, no one, none, etc. None of the answers is correct. I don't like any of these shirts. Maybe there are 3 of them, but they are definitely more than 2. No one offered to accompany him. Next category is the relative pronoun. A relative pronoun connects one phrase or clause to another. It replaces its most relevant antecedent, for example, who, whom, that, and which. The compounds whoever, whomever, and whichever are also relative pronouns. Let us look at their usage. Who is used for adult human beings whose gender is specified. Which refers to not adult human beings. I've given you examples like child, infant, baby. The gender is not specified. It replaces animals, plants, and other non-living objects. That may be used for all of those mentioned above, but it refers to something that is more specific. It has no possessive case and it never follows a preposition. I was referring only to that here. We will look at the usage of who, whom, and whose. Who and whoever are used to replace a noun that could be the subject of a sentence. Whom or whomever replaces a noun that is the object of a sentence. And whose is used in the possessive case of a sentence. Let me explain this with the help of examples. Subjective case. The candidate who wins the greatest popular vote is not always elected. Objective case. You may invite whomever you like to the party. Possessive case. The boy whose pen I borrowed is my neighbor. Reflexive pronouns are used when referring back to a subject or phrase, when the action done by a subject reflects back upon him. We make use of reflexive pronouns by adding the word self or selves to the end of a pronoun. For example, myself, yourself, himself. The plural can be formed when we make use of the word selves, yourselves, themselves, and so on. Let's look at some examples. Be careful, don't hurt yourself with that knife. We enjoyed ourselves at Asim's birthday party. My aunt lives in that big house by herself. Make a note that if we remove this particular pronoun, the sentence becomes meaningless. These pronouns are used only for the purpose of emphasis. Example, she washed the clothes herself. We completed the project ourselves. Indefinite pronouns. They refer to persons or things in a general way, but not to any person or thing in particular. For example, another, much, nobody, few, many, any, anybody, all, one, none. Demonstrative pronouns. They point out the objects to which they refer to. This is my book. The plural would be, these are my books. We make use of the pronoun this when we are referring to something which is close to us, either in distance or in time. That is used when we refer to something which is far away from us, either in distance or in time. That is my book. Those are my books. Reciprocal pronouns. Examples are each other when we talk about two people. One another is used when we refer to more than two people. Interrogative pronouns, just like the name suggests, make questions. They are used for asking questions. Examples, who, what, which, whom. Who is the Prime Minister of Pakistan? Which is Ramesh's house? What will the neighbors say? Do you know that even numbers are used as pronouns? It depends upon the usage. If a number is replacing a noun, let's have a look at the example. Of the 7 people who died, 3 were women. The word 3 here is replacing a noun, that is women. 3 women. Many are prone to viral infections. Few of these apples are rotten. They all refer to numbers, so pronouns of number. Pronouns of quantity. As the name suggests, they express quantity. This dessert is delicious. Can you give me some more? More refers to the quantity. That much is enough. The amount received by me was very little. All refer to quantity. Now I'm going to point out some specific usages. The first one that I've brought is this one. When two singular nouns are joined by and but denote the same person, the pronoun used is singular. The poet and philosopher delivered his lecture. It. If the subject of the sentence is it, this is how it should be used. It plus be form of verb is followed by the subjective case of pronoun. For example, it was I who initiated this cause and not it was me. This is a very, very commonly made error. Let. If a sentence begins with the word let, it is followed by an objective case pronoun. For example, let him and her enjoy the party tonight. One. If the indefinite pronoun one is the subject of a sentence, it will take one in the objective case also. So the correct usage is one must be careful about one's health. None. None can either take a singular or a plural verb. None plus of the plural countable noun plus plural verb. None of the boys received their prize. If the noun is non-countable. It will take a singular verb. So none of the plus non-countable noun plus singular verb. None of the advice given by you has worked for me. So that was the end of my lesson. I hope that you learned from it. Meet you in the next class. Till then, goodbye.